My stepmother is a witch. Long ago, in the lush green hills of Nobi, a town known for its ancient market and powerful dibias, native doctors, there lived a boy named Obinna. He was the only son of Motsi Yuzoki, a respected palm wine tapper whose laughter could calm even a crying baby. Obinna's mother, Adeoma, had died giving birth to him, and for years, Motsi Yuzoki raised him with the help of his sister, Nena. Obinna grew into a strong and intelligent boy, known for his kindness and cleverness. He could climb the tallest Iroko tree, tell the best folktales during moonlight, and his voice when he sang made even the birds pause to listen. But when he turned 13, his father decided it was time to remarry. That was when everything changed. Her name was Ngozi, and she was beautiful like the river goddess Idemolai's smooth dark skin, teeth white like fresh coconut flesh, and eyes like burning coals. At first, the village women admired her and said Motsi Yuzoki was lucky. But the elders noticed something strange. Animals would grow restless when Ngozi passed. Chickens stopped laying eggs. The dibia, who rarely spoke, whispered to his apprentice, "There is fire where no smoke shows." To Obinna, she was nothing like the loving mother he had imagined. From the first day she stepped into their compound, the wind changed. She smiled with her lips but not her eyes. At night, Obinna would hear her chanting in whispers, her voice curling like smoke under his door. Strange birds began perching on the roof, staring into the house with unblinking eyes. One night, he awoke to see a black snake sliding from her room into the bush. When he told his father, Motsi Yuzoki only laughed and said, "NWAM, dreams are like palm wine. Sweet, but dangerous if you drink too much." But it was no dream. Weeks passed, and strange things began to happen. A rival palm wine tapper died mysteriously. A girl from the village lost her voice after arguing with Ngozi in the market house, though Obinna's small garden flourished. It was as if all the life in the land was being stolen and fed to something else. Then came the night of the Odu festival, when the spirits of the ancestors returned to visit the living. The air was heavy with incense and palm oil, and masquerades danced like spirits possessed. Obinna stood near the sacred Iroko tree when the old dibia approached him. "Obinna," he said, his voice thin like the harmattan wind, "you are being washed. But the spirits of your mother's line are with you. Tonight, look into the fire and do not blink." He did as he was told. That night, as the village fire roared and the drums beat like thunder, Obinna stared into the flames. There, in the heart of the fire, he saw a vision: Ngozi, standing naked under the moon, her shadow twisting into the form of a giant bat, her mouth chanting in a forgotten tongue. Behind her, tied to a tree, was the spirit of his mother, weeping. Obinna gasped and fell backward. No one else saw the vision, but he knew what it meant. His stepmother was not merely cruel. She was a witch, and she had trapped his mother's spirit to gain power. From that night, Obinna planned in secret. He visited the dibia, who gave him a calabash carved from the wood of the ojurosai tree and told him, "You must journey to the cave of Eneni Miri, the mother of waters. There, your mother's spirit can be freed. But beware, the witch will know when you are close." Obinna took his father's old machete, tied it in a raffia sheath, and set out under the early morning mist. He crossed rivers, climbed hills, and faced 3 tests of courage. First, a lion blocked his path, but he sang to it in the voice of the forest, and it bowed and let him pass. Then, he faced a storm that tried to drown him, but he held the calabash to his chest and whispered his mother's name. The waters parted. The final test was the worst. He reached the mouth of the cave of Eneni Miri just as dusk bled into night. There, waiting for him, was Ngozi. But she was no longer beautiful. Her skin was like charcoal cracked with fire. Her eyes glowed red. From her back sprung leathery wings, and her fingers became claws. "You dare challenge me, boy?" she hissed. "Your mother was weak. She begged for her life. You will, too," but Obinna stood firm. I am the son of Adeoma, daughter of the river line. You cannot harm me. She laughed, and the cave shook. You think a boy can defeat a queen of the dark? I don't have to, he said. The truth defeats you. With that, he smashed the calabash on the ground. Light burst forth, as bright as the sun. And from within rose the spirit of Adeoma. She wore a dress of stars and her hair flowed like the waterfall of Umuoji. She looked at Ngozi and said, "Your time has ended." Ngozi screamed, her body turning to ash, her shadow fleeing into the earth. The cave collapsed, but not before Adeoma touched her son's face and said, "You are brave. And you are mine. Go home. Lead." Obinna woke at the foot of the cave, holding a single white feather, his mother's blessing. When he returned to Nobi, the villagers saw a new light.